human! Welcome back to another Dank Doggo /entitled parents videos. Are you able to visit the beach these days with all the COVID-19 going on? Or you just hate swimming in general and don't care? The first story is by u/CityRadberry505. The whole beach wasn't enough. I recently traveled to a beach town to visit relatives. I'm there so often, quite a few people think I'm a local. Both locals and the tourists are pretty good at respecting personal space and won't sit right next to, for, in front, behind you. In my 20 plus years of making multiple visits per year, I have never had a problem with tourists until my most recent visit. I get to the beach early, like 8:30 a.m., and I set up my chair and an umbrella. There are maybe 5 other families already set up for the day, so there's no one within a 100-foot radius of me. For the next hour and a half, I'm blissfully enjoying an audiobook and a handful of other people show up. The entire beach is still empty. All of a sudden, I feel a tap on my shoulder, thinking it was my relatives deciding to join me. Nope! It was an incredibly obese, trashy-looking woman in her late 30s, early 40s standing over me. Behind her was about like 12 other people, who appeared to have packed up their entire house and were lurking in through the sand. She's EP. EP, excuse me, but you're in our spot. Me, what spot? EP, this is our spot. My family's staying at the hotel right over there, and we've been sitting in this spot for the last 4 days. You need to move. Me, no I don't. I was here first. EP, I said this is our spot. This whole stretch of beach is reserved for the hotel guests only. Me, knowing that not a single hotel reserves spots or parts of the beach for guests. Okay, well go get someone from the hotel to move me. If you can find someone, I'll gladly move. EP, well, there's no one working right now. You're just going to have to believe me. Me, there's literally miles of open beach. Pick a spot and enjoy your vacation. EP, both yelling at me and her family. This lady has just ruined our vacation. We need to find a different spot. So she and the rest of the family plopped their stuff down, literally 10 feet to the left of me, despite the entire beach is still being open. For the next hour, I pretend to be asleep listening to my audiobook, but instead I'm listening to EP. Every word out of her mouth is how much of a tramp I am. How it was so inconvenient that she had to carry her stuff an extra 10 feet, etc. I was overjoyed when the lifeguard kicked her and the rest of the equally as trashy adults in her group off the beach for refusing to put out their cigarettes. Sometimes karma comes in the form of a good lifeguard. You just never know. We have here the second story written by u/electricvoice28. EK probably got nightmare after M demanded her son plays a game on my computer. Cast, me, some random dude in my house, I don't know who that is. M, my mother. M, my aunt. EK, most annoying kid in the universe. Some context backstory. I still live in my parents' house since university is really close, so I don't need to get myself an apartment. The story happened about like a year ago. The story. On a beautiful Sunday morning, I got woken up by my mother telling me that she has invited my aunt with her kids for lunch. Now, to be honest, I never liked that particular aunt that much, but what can you do? So about 2 hours later, the family come over. We have our lunch and afterwards we sit around in the living room and chat about. At some point, I noticed from the corner of my eye, one of my aunt's kids, EK, going to my room. Now, I had my computer open, and I was afraid that he might do something to it, so I followed him. Now, that kid was about like 8 at the time, and he should in no way be allowed to play violent video games. And me, being an avid gamer, most, if not all of the games I had installed were rated as PEGI 18, meaning they were to be played by people over 18. The conversation went like this. EK, do you have any games? Me, I do, but they're not for you. These are grown-up games. EK, but I want to play! Me, I'm sorry, but you cannot. At this point, the kid runs out of the room and to his mom. EK, OP does not let me play games. M, to me, come on, let him play some game. He has nothing else to do. Me, the games that I have on my computer are not for his age. They are violent and disturbing at times. M, But my little boy wants to play. Can't you let him play? Me, I'm sorry, but these games are not for your child. Excuse me? We are guests, and you have to do what we say. Just let him play. At this point, I've gotten really angry. And in hindsight, I should have just opened a Flash game website and let him play. But this computer was my most prized possession, having built it myself with mostly my own money. And I would not let an 8-year-old play freely with it, cause I was afraid that he could damage it. Also, my malicious compliance side came out at that moment, so I did not pass the chance for some good old MC. I say okay to both mom and child, and take the kid with me. I open Outlast. For those who don't know, Outlast is a horror game with many disturbing images and scary scenes, especially for an 8-year-old child, and let him play. Not even 5 minutes in, I hear a scream from my room, and I see EK run crying to his mother. What the hell did you make him play? What is wrong with you? Me, I told you before, my games are not for young children, they are for adults, but you wouldn't listen. The mom straight up picked up her children, one still crying, and left the house. After I told my mom what exactly I did, she burst out laughing. Learn to listen to people when they warn you. TLDR, entitled kid want to play games that are rated adult only, and his mom forces me to let him. Kid leaves with nightmares after playing said games. Lol, definitely not a game for kids. It scares me too, and I'm like way older than them. Next up, we have the third story shared by u/Lilfoot86. I don't care if he needs emergency surgery. My daughter is more important. So this just happened last night, Friday the 13th. I had been having some pretty bad abdominal pain since the 12th. Well, yesterday I went to a local clinic and found out that I had appendicitis, and the clinic called an ambulance and I was transported to a big hospital. When I got there, they took me to a room and had me stripped butt naked and rushed me to the OR. As we were moving through the ER, this Karen stopped us and asked why I was being rushed before her daughter since they have been here longer. The nurse told her that I was being rushed for emergency surgery, and she said, "I don't care. My daughter is in pain and he needs to wait his, me, turn." Nurse said, "Ma'am, your daughter has a sprained ankle and that gentleman could die." She reluctantly moved out of the way when she saw a couple of police officers start walking towards her. Well, surgery went great and I'm okay. Was released at 12 this afternoon. Well, a sprained ankle? Well, here's some ice and an ace bandage. See ya! Moving on to the fourth story shared by u/FlyingDonkingDong69. Entitled parents tried to kick me out of my room. I hate using abbreviations, so figure out who says what on your own. I've done my best to make it as easy to follow as possible. I'm currently taking classes away from home, and since I don't like the idea of living out of my car, I rented a room at a nearby bed and breakfast that houses students. Great owners, amazing rooms with private bathrooms, fast Wi-Fi, free use of the state-of-the-art kitchen, and above all else, affordable. Of course, because the place I'm staying at is a B&B first, the owners request that I stay flexible during tourist seasons, which means that I keep things at a ready-to-move status. Tourist patrons pay you way more to stay here, so they take priority over the room choice. Thankfully, tourist seasons only last from September 1st to the October 22nd, and from February 1st to the 18th, and doesn't come without a compensation. The owners have temporary rooms in their private residence. They call it the retreat setup for students who have to move for tourists, as well as a contract saying that if any items left in our rooms are damaged or stolen by tourists, it will be fixed or replaced. Well, it's tourist season again, thanks to the nearby town's winter and Valentine's festivals that happen every February. I've been moved once so far, but it wasn't too bad. The owner called all the students into the common room to explain the room situation for the coming days. Alrighty then, housemate 1 and housemate 2, you're gonna stay the night up at the retreat. OP, you're the lucky one who gets to stay this time. Mind your manners and just do what you do. Later that day, I'm playing on my Xbox when I'm caught off guard as my door swings open and a family of 3 pour in. The father sets down a couple of luggage bags while the kid starts running around the room. The mother takes one look at me and says, "I was told you'd be moved out by now. why are you still here? I politely tell her that they may have the wrong room, and that mine wasn't selected for the patron use. That is ridiculous. I specifically requested this room. You better leave now, or I'll be having a strongly worded conversation with the owner. I ask her to give me a second as I call up the owner. She gives me a, whatever. The owner picks up and I double check with him about my room. And he confirms that they have the wrong room and that he'll be there shortly to work it out. I relay this information to the mother, who just doesn't accept this. This is stupid. I asked for this room and I paid for the fee, so you got to leave now. The kid finally notices my Xbox. Awesome! We have an Xbox while we stay here. Can I play it, Mom? Please? The mom agrees, totally ignoring the fact that she has no right to allow her child to use someone else's things. I keep the controller away from the kid and say that if I'm leaving, I'll be taking my Xbox with me. And her brat did not like that answer and began to wail like a banshee. Now, look what have you done! You made my baby cry. He's going to be in a bad mood for the rest of our stay now. You better hope the owner is forgiving, cause he's getting an earful when he shows up. All this going on, and not a word has been breathed from the dad. He just stands behind his wife, arms crossed, and with a mildly discomforted look on his face. The owner finally shows up, and it goes like this. Hello folks, sorry for the mix-up, your room is taken by this punk, we know. But this is the room I asked for, and it's the room we're getting. Or we'll find somewhere else. Ma'am, your bill states that you asked for room 4, this is room 5. I've already made the arrangements for room 4 to be used, so if you could please just follow me, we'll get your family set up. No, this room has an Xbox video game entertainer. Yes, she called it that. And my son wants to use it while we stay here. It's this room or nothing. You'll be hard-pressed to find another place with vacancy during the festival, and besides, it's just down the hall, and it's just as nice as this room. Does it have an Xbox? I don't think... Then it's this room, or we take the Xbox with us. I interject, saying that no one is taking or using my Xbox without my permission. Why do you even have that thing anyway? You look like an adult. Act like one and quit playing childish video games. Ma'am, it's room 4 or nothing, and I can assure you, it's not gonna be easy for you to find a new place to stay. Even if you did, it won't be as nice as here. Fine, I'll take it. But don't expect a review over 3 stars. She stomps out of the room, wailing brat and pack mule husband in tow. The owner gives me a yeesh look before apologizing and closing the door. That was 2 days ago, and they're still down the hall from me for another 2 days. The kid has had at least 4 very audible temper tantrums since then. God have mercy. TLDR, tourist mom tries to take my room in a mix-up, makes butt of herself. I'm both surprised and glad that the owner was on OP's side. Very reliable guy. The 5th story is shared by u/natmas97. Can you just get the color out of your hair? Okay, so this happened today, like an hour ago or so. A bit of preamble, I'm a trans girl and just got to the family's house to visit Easter. I rode my motorbike down and have shortest, pretty deep purple hair. I pulled into a non-brand specific supermarket around the corner from my family's place to pick up an energy drink. And as I got off my bike and removed my helmet, I could see out of the corner of my eye this little girl, LG by the trolley, return pointing at me and generally going nuts. I start to walk past to walk inside to the store, and the LG turns to her mother, our EP, sitting on a bench nearby with an old lay who must be her mother, both having a cigarette each. LG, Mommy, can I have hair like her? I rightly assumed this was about me. EP, no, LG's name, that is not a girl. Old lady grunts in approval. I ignore and move in to grab my sweet terrine juice. And because it's Easter weekend, I'm in there for about 10 minutes or so, just in a crowd. As I walk back out, the family is still outside with a lot more cigarettes smoked. LG, but why can't I have pretty hair? She sounds like she's been doing this non-stop. EP, because I said so. Now shut up before I bloody clip you. I start to walk past as EP waves to catch my attention. EP, hey mate, why have you got to have hair like that for? Me, because I want it? EP, no, but why like that? No man I know has a collar like that. Can you just take it out? Me, well, I'm not a man, so there's that much. And not without constantly washing my hair for like a couple of days. EP, no, I mean like now. Can you get it out now? I knew the education in my era was lacking, but damn. Me, look, I just wanted to grab a drink and get going. Let's just leave it. I turned to walk back to my bike and put my helmet back on. EP, fine then, you little ducker. Go be a crab somewhere else. Old lady grunts in a way that I guess must have been a laugh. The little girl was quiet through all this, just looking between the two of us as she cuddles into her mother. I just had enough. But I didn't want her to feel like she came out on top. So I turned around, still a bit away from them, and reached a hand into my jacket pocket. Me, oh right, yeah, I'm sorry. Here, have this apology, and pull out my hand, and flip them both the bird, smiling and waving my other hand to present my apology. After a second of silence and a slack-jawed looks from the pair, I turn and go back to my bike, and start to make my way off. As in background, I hear EP hurling cursing my way about different stuff. A parent swearing in front of her own daughter. Sheesh. And purple hair is not even that rare. A lot of people have them. On to the final story shared by /shy girl turned sassy. You bought present for my puppy and not for my baby? My dad's dog, Dennis, passed away around like 4 months ago. Our family was grief-stricken as we loved him deeply. Dennis was like my dad's third child, besides my stepbrother and I. A few days ago, my dad and stepmom adopted a puppy from the local shelter. I was ecstatic when I found out, and went over to their place with lots of presents for the little guy. Chew toys, balls, a puppy pen, and a puppy bed. My stepbrother and his wife were also there with their 18-month-old son. She saw all of the puppy's gift and gave me a really annoyed look. I asked if she was okay, to which she replied, well, I think it's just a bit cruel to my child that you are parroting all these toys in front of him and haven't even got anything for him. Keep in mind that it wasn't my nephew's birthday or any other special occasion. I reminded her this fact, and she seemed shocked and said something like, so what? He's your nephew. Doesn't he deserve better treatment than a pet? You could have gotten a few toys for him. So I told her, first of all, your kid is 18 months old and is incapable of realizing that the puppy has been given a few toys. And second of all, just because I'm being nice to a puppy doesn't automatically mean that I'm treating your son badly. Before she could reply, I just got up, said goodbye to my dad, and kissed the puppy and left. I really don't think that what I did was in any way disrespectful to her family, so I just don't understand her reaction. Well, get your nephew some chew toys, a ball, and a puppy pen and watch her explode. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.